In terms of researchers, one thing that I think is really nice is the real-time updates for collaborators. So you're adding data, and this is true for the docs and the presentations as well if you're working collaboratively on something. But as soon as you enter it in, it updates on their side. So there's no waiting for somebody to email out the newest version of something. Okay? As soon as you enter it in and save the changes, it's going to appear on their end when they look at it, which is fantastic, I think. And it's also good for basic forms. We're going to talk about that right now. Yes?
Does that mean that two people can simultaneously edit the same document?
The question was, can two people simultaneously edit a document? Yes, they can. And it actually highlights in a green box to show you what the other person, which cell the other person is working in. Okay, so that you guys aren't in the same cell at the same time, screwing things up. Okay, so it shows you with that bright green box where somebody's working and the changes that they're making. So you can see what each other is doing. Okay, and again, you have that drop-down chat option as well.
Is that the same in using Word or the PowerPoint?
For the docs, it is not the same. You can leave comments, insert comments in docs, which is different than actually making the changes. You can actually stick a little thought bubble in there and say, this is what I did, something like that. But they don't actually show you what somebody's doing it while they're doing it in docs. Okay, so basic forms. This is something that's new in the last year. Forms for spreadsheets. So it's not really its own application by itself, but it's tied to the Google Spreadsheets product. What it allows you to do is easily create forms. I mean, I can't count how many times that I'd like to make a very quick form to either email out or embed on a page. I just want people to fill in the information, submit, and I want it dumped in a spreadsheet. Okay, that's exactly what this does. It's not super sophisticated, very basic types of questions that you can ask, basic layout. It's not going to look super pretty and gorgeous. Okay, it's not SurveyMonkey or some of those other products, but it does what it does, and I anticipate, since it's a relatively new product, that it will get better. Okay, so again, you can easily create basic forms. Those forms can be emailed or embedded on a page. Then that data is just dumped into a Google spreadsheet that the form is associated with. They do have templates available. You can also make your own forms. Okay, and it gives you an option of about 6 or 7 different types of questions that you can ask, multiple choice, pick one, long paragraph, short text answer, that kind of thing. It's good for quickly collecting basic information from colleagues, particularly if you need to update some contact information, titles, institutions where all your authors are, things like that. It's very easy to just email it out. It's easier for someone just to fill in the boxes than it is for them to write a whole new email. And remember that you said down here in the bottom, I need your name, I need your address, I need your whatever. Okay, it's right there, they fill it in, boom, done. Yes?
Do people who are filling in those forms, they would need a Gmail account?
The question was, do people filling in the forms need a Gmail account? They do not. They do not. If you're using the Google Apps suite of products, which is outside of the scope of this class, it can actually, if you choose to have it do this, it can actually record the email address of the submitter. So they don't have to, say, fill in name, things like that. They just have to, boom, submit. Okay? So you can set it to be as sort of anonymous or non-anonymous as you need it to be. And so it's good for populating spreadsheets with data points. If you're entering something frequently, or you need to have a quick form for a student to fill in, okay, if they're filling in the same type of information every day or something like that, it's just nice and easy and quick to set up. Okay, that's why I like it. And finally, presentations, which is what I'm using right now. It's your basic PowerPoint type tool. Again, it gives you the ability to share and collaborate on basic presentations, because you do not get all the bells and whistles that you get in PowerPoint. Personally, I don't use the bells and whistles because things flying around and flashing at me, I don't know. I'm kind of over that. So I tend to like using it because it's basic, clean, looks nice. It's really nice because it's easy to publish and conduct presentations online. Okay, because you can publish very easily and create a URL that you can mail out to people. One other kind of neat thing that you can do in presentations that I'll show you here is there's the view together option. So I can send this URL out to other people, and if I want to actually, show this presentation, they can go to the URL and it will follow along as I click through and things like that. And if somebody wants to ask a question, they can type it in here. We'll see if it'll take it since I'm yeah, there we go. And I can answer them and people can chat, that kind of thing. Okay? And I can close that just by clicking on the middle bar here. All right? So it's kind of neat. I haven't used that capability a whole lot, but it certainly has applications. Okay? And they're constantly adding new templates for presentations. When presentations started, there were 5 backgrounds that you could use, and they were quite boring. But in the templates file, and we can take a look at that near the end here, there are a lot of options available now. So great for clean, basic presentations, online presentations with the chat option. Most important use, I would say, is backup. Okay? If you have your file saved in a PowerPoint X file type and you go somewhere to give your presentation and they do not have Office 2007, okay, and you're in trouble, you can't bring it up, you can't save it, whatever, they don't have the conversion software installed, I back almost all my presentations up on Google Presentations just in case something goes horribly awry and I do have web access, I can bring it up this way. Okay, I am notorious for leaving my flash drive stuck in my computer after saving my presentation onto it so that I won't forget it and it's still stuck there. And Presentations allows me to then pull it up anywhere that I have web access. So it's an excellent backup for nothing else. A few little tools in Google Docs that I find useful. We talked a little bit about PDFs already, so you can upload those PDF files. Particularly if you're working on a project that you're using Google Docs to collaborate with other people with on anyway. It's a nice way to quickly share articles and things like that with colleagues. Now, as a librarian, I would never, ever, ever tell you to fly in the face of copyright rules and share PDFs with people outside of the university, but theoretically, if you had to do that, you could, okay? It's the same way that you can email it to somebody. Okay, but basically one copy then of it is sitting in the Google Docs account, and if you don't want someone to see anything anymore, you can just delete it out of the account. It'll delete out of their account as well. Okay, again, converting files to PDF, we talked about that, and just keeping in mind that you cannot edit original PDF documents in Google Docs. Yes?
So for the uploading PDFs, it would be keeping in mind educational fair use and
Absolutely.
what the research team is and
Yes. The question was for uploading the PDF documents, the importance of keeping in mind the freedoms available under copyright rule under educational use, okay, fair use. So even if you're collaborating with people from other institutions that may not have access to some of the materials that we do here at U of M, a lot of things are covered under educational fair use, and you can share, particularly with the option to delete that article out of Google Docs once the project is completed, sort of like in C-Tools where you can remove things when the class is over. It helps in the argument of using something for fair use under copyright rule. Yes?
Okay, because this is totally new to me.
Absolutely.
If I'm setting this up, other people have access only when I invite them into?
Absolutely. What you'll do is share a document. We'll take a look at some of the screenshots here in a second. But basically what you do is you share a document with whoever you choose. Unless you publish that document and make it public, no one else is going to see it unless you invite them to see
So
it.
it does have total security?
We'll talk
Well,
about security near the end. And we'll talk about some of the sharing options too, because there are different levels of permissions that you can give people.
There are. Okay.
Absolutely.